Most people who live with a cat have asked themselves this at least once. Does my cat actually love me? Or am I just the person who fills the bowl? It's a fair question, because unlike dogs, cats don't make it obvious. They don't wag their tail, they don't jump on you at the door, they don't beg for your attention every 5 minutes. But that doesn't mean the feeling isn't there. It just means you need to know what to look for. And once you do, you'll start noticing that your cat has probably been telling you how it feels this whole time, just in a language most people never learn to read. 1. The slow blink. If your cat has ever looked at you from across the room and blinked slowly, eyes half closed, no tension in the face, that is one of the most significant things a cat can communicate. In feline body language, a direct stare is a sign of dominance or threat. So when a cat holds eye contact with you and then deliberately softens it with a slow blink, it's doing the opposite of threatening you. It's telling you it feels completely safe in your presence. Researchers at the University of Sussex confirmed this in controlled studies. Cats respond positively to humans who mirror this slow blink and are more likely to approach them. If your cat does this to you, blink back slowly. You're having a conversation. 2. Bringing you gifts. If your cat has ever dropped a dead bird, a mouse, or even a toy at your feet, your first reaction was probably not gratitude. But this behavior is, in cat terms, an act of generosity. In the wild, cats that live in loose social groups sometimes share prey with other members. When your cat brings something to you, it's including you in that dynamic. You are part of its world, important enough to share a kill with. Some cats do this more than others, and indoor cats often substitute real prey with toys. But the gesture is the same. It's not a warning, it's a gift. And in cat language, gifts mean you matter. 3. Headbutting and face rubbing. When your cat walks up to you and presses its forehead against your face, your chin, or your hand, it's doing something that goes beyond affection. It's marking you. Cats have scent glands on their cheeks, forehead, and chin, and when they rub these areas against something or someone, they're depositing pheromones. These pheromones create what researchers call a scent map, a chemical signature that marks the environment as safe and familiar. When your cat headbutts you, it's not just saying, "I like you," it's saying, "You are part of my safe world." You've been claimed, and in the best possible way. 4. Showing you its belly. This one confuses a lot of cat owners, because the belly exposure often ends in scratches. Here's the thing. A cat showing you its belly is not necessarily an invitation to touch it. It's a display of vulnerability. The belly is the most unprotected part of a cat's body, and in nature, exposing it to another animal is an enormous act of trust. When your cat rolls over and shows you its stomach, it's communicating that it feels completely safe around you, safe enough to expose its most vulnerable spot. Whether or not it wants you to actually touch it is a separate question. But the display itself is one of the clearest signs of trust a cat can give. 5. Following you from room to room. Cats are territorial animals that build their security through space and routine. So when a cat consistently chooses to move with you, following you to the kitchen, sitting outside the bathroom door, relocating from the couch to wherever you just sat down, it's making an active choice to be near you. This isn't neediness. For a solitary animal that could just as easily stay put, choosing to follow someone is a statement. You are more interesting, more comforting, and more important than the spot it was already in. That's a form of preference that speaks louder than most people realize. 6. Needing that rhythmic pushing motion cats make with their paws, pressing in and out against a soft surface, sometimes against you, goes back to kittenhood. Kittens need their mother's belly to stimulate milk flow. It's one of the earliest associations a cat forms between a physical action and feelings of comfort, warmth, and safety. When an adult cat needs on you or near you, it's tapping into that same emotional register. It means you trigger something in them that feels like safety, like home, like the most comforting thing they've ever known. There are few things a cat does that are more emotionally raw than this, even if it doesn't look like much from the outside. 7. Sleeping on you or right next to you. Cats are at their most vulnerable when they sleep. Their guard is down, their senses are partially offline, and they can't react instantly to threats. So where a cat chooses to sleep is not a random decision. It's a calculated one, made by an animal that is always, on some level, thinking about safety. If your cat sleeps on you, pressed against you, or in the same room as you by choice, it is decided that you are the safest place in its world. Not just the safest spot, the safest presence. That level of trust, coming from an animal that hides vulnerability as a survival strategy, is significant in a way that's easy to underestimate. 8. Greeting you when you come home. Cats have a reputation for being indifferent to arrivals and departures, and some cats do stay put. But many cats, especially those with strong bonds, show clear behavioral changes when their owner comes home. They might meet you at the door, vocalize more than usual, or simply appear from wherever they were and position themselves nearby. Research shows that cats track their owner's absence and respond to their return. The response might not look like a dog's excitement, but it doesn't need to. A cat walking toward you when you walk in the door, tail up, is doing something meaningful. That upright tail is a greeting signal. A confident, relaxed, "I'm glad you're here." In cat language, that's everything. Cats don't love loudly. They love in the margins, in a slow blink across the room, in the spot they choose to sleep, in the quiet decision to follow you from one room to the next. Once you start reading those signals, you realize the love was never absent. It was just spoken in a different language. And now that you speak it, you'll never look at your cat the same way again.